빨간 바지에 신발을 신지 않고 있었습니다. 빨간 바지에 신발을 신지 않은 아이. 1973년 10월 26일 김영희라는 어린이가 영등포 경찰서에서 미아로 발견돼 처음 찍은 사진의 모습입니다. 2살짜리 여자아이가 길거리에서 발견될 때까지는 어떤 사연이 있었던 것일까요? 이제 51살이 된 에이미 벨서, 김영희 씨는 아마도 저희 룩킹포맘 투게더가 만난 입양인들 중에 가장 많은, 가장 활발한 엄마 찾기를 해온 참가자일 것 같습니다. 아동권리 보장원과 미 중앙일보가 함께 만들고 있습니다. 룩킹포맘 투게더 최인성입니다. 73년 당시 23살이었을 김영희 씨의 어머니, 지금 75세, 75살이 됐을 것으로 추정되고 있는데요. 엄마 찾기의 과정과 또 앞으로의 계획을 김영희 씨를 통해 들어보겠습니다. 뉴욕에 살고 있는 김영희 씨를 만나봅니다. 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다.
안녕하세요.
We know who you are. A lot of stories, articles, broadcasting and stuff. But our viewers don't know who you are. Please introduce yourself briefly to our viewers.
Okay. My name is Amy Belser, and I live in Northern Virginia with my husband, my 13-year-old daughter, and my 10-and-a-half-year-old son. I'm currently a housewife and stay-at-home mom, and sometimes I help my husband with his company. I enjoy walking, reading, watching movies, Korean food, and spending time with my family.
You look very happy. We know why you're happy, but we'll mention that a little later.
Okay.
You said red knit pants with no shoes. That really touched our heart, and we don't know what to say about it. We will discover and talk about that a little later. But what could be a possible circumstances and situations right before and after you were found on the street in the Yeongdeungpo and also Yeongdeungpo police station, please?
I don't have any memories of my time in Korea. So I don't know what happened to me before I was found, but my paperwork states that the police in Yeongdeungpo found me on October 26, 1973.
Okay. We still have pictures of you back in 1973, right?
Yes.
Is this the picture right after you admitted to the orphanage?
No, that was after I was in my foster home.
Oh, okay.
For almost a year.
Okay. Was it possible, or is it right to say that you were still under the care of your mom before you were found on the street?
We think that, but again, we don't know for sure.
I see. Now you're adopted to this family here in the United States. Tell us about your American family and also how you grew up here.
Okay. I came to the United States on August 29th, 1974. I flew across the ocean on an airplane. I don't have any memories of my time in Korea or even the time on the airplane. I came and met my American parents, and unfortunately, they had a unhappy marriage. So about 6 years after I was here, they got a divorce, and that was very difficult on me. It was a lonely and stressful time, and I think because of having lost my family in Korea and then having my parents divorce here, it was particularly hard on me.
Sorry to hear that. I saw lots of beautiful pictures that you sent me when you were little. It looks like just a regular little kid, happy with the toys and the family members and holidays, little outings with your mom.
Mm-hmm. My dad wasn't home very often. He went away on business trips.
I see.
And my mom would take me to parks and museums.
I see. Now, you married with children, a very happy family you have right there. What was your motivation to come out and start this journey, searching for your mom? I mean, it's obvious, but tell us in your own words, please.
Well, the big thing was I never knew the story behind how I got separated from my family in Korea. So I didn't know if I was lost or if I was given up willingly or how we came to be separated. So it was really important to me to live my life authentically and to find out the truth. So my goal was to find my family and find out my real date of birth, the name that I was given when I was in Korea when I was born, and to find out how we came to be separated. The idea if I was lost, for example, the idea that my family has been searching for me or mourning me all this time and not having any closure was problematic. So I wanted to be able to solve that and soothe it if possible.
I'm sure a lot of Korean adoptees out there watch this video too. You started off 2008. I think that's the period when you had your own children. You did most extensive search work. Now, briefly tell us, what have you done so far?
I've tested my DNA sample at several companies, the three major ones in the United States. I've also gone to Korea and submitted my DNA sample with Korea National Police Agency for their missing persons database, and also with a Korean private organization, private company called Dow Gene, and they also have my sample on file. In 2010, I set up a website, a blog, to search for my family. It had what little information I have about my background, and my pictures on there and what I do know about when I was found. And I also set up a Twitter and a YouTube account. I've been on TV in Korea several times and in newspapers several times and even on the radio once, searching for my family. And probably the most difficult thing to do, and this is why adoptee search for birth family takes years, is trying to communicate long distance with a language barrier. So it's even if I could find phone numbers from different agencies in Korea, I couldn't just call them up with a question because I didn't know the language. So it was a matter of finding email addresses when possible, and then if I could find help from somebody to translate my email, and then to make inquiries from there. It was very difficult though, because a lot of people, didn't respond or told me that there was no way to find your family. So it took many years, and searching is not something you can just do continuously. It takes an emotional toll on you.
Oh yeah.
You have to take breaks from time to time, and focus on your current life and not get completely lost in the past.
I see. Well, I was told also this DNA test pretty much gave you a big lead to your dad in Korea. How was that unfolded?
The first DNA company I tested with is called Ancestry, and I submitted my sample in 2009.
Okay.
Last year, I received an email notification from the company that I had a second cousin match.
After 12 years?
After 12 years.
After 12 years, okay.
After 12 years.
Okay, go on.
It turned out that I had a male cousin who's a quarter Korean, second cousin. And since he's a quarter Korean, he was interested in finding out more about his ethnicity.
Okay.
Which is why he took the DNA test. And that's why his sample only recently got into the database there. So I located him on Facebook and we chatted for a while. I told him about my background. He was a little cautious, understandably, just because he didn't know who I am and what my intentions were. But I talked to him for a while, and eventually I got contact information for his mother, who is half Korean. And she and I compared DNA, and she came back as my first cousin, which makes sense. And her mother is full Korean.
Okay.
And it took a little convincing to get her to DNA test because she didn't really think they were missing any children in her family. But she did end up talking to her brothers and sisters and found out that her youngest brother had gotten a girl pregnant back in 1970.
So when was it that you finally found your dad? And also, I know you had a communication over, I don't know, video chat, texting, and everything. Tell us about it. When was it?
Yeah. So earlier this year in April, my father and I both submitted our DNA samples to have them compared, and it came back with the result of parent and child match. So we knew that he was my father. He was kind of quiet at first, and I think I was a little bit hesitant because I wasn't quite sure what to say.
Okay.
I wanted to joke like, surprise, it's a girl. I didn't know if that would translate over very well.
Surprise, it's a girl after 52 years. Okay.
Yeah. And so we've talked several times with the help of my aunt, who's my one aunt that's American, and then his other brothers and sisters. We've talked in group chat on Kakao.
I see.
Kakao.
Now you found your dad. Can you tell us about your dad and also your mom's name and all those leads that we might want to publish here?
Okay, sure. Let's see. My mom's name is either Lee E. Kum-suk or E. Kum-soon, and her hometown is Chonan, Chungcheong Province. She and my dad knew each other around 1970, and they dated for 6 months. At that time, my mother was living in Sodemingu, across from Shimyeon Church in Daehyung-dong with her sister. My dad had a nickname for her, which was Mango.
Okay.
So if she hears this, that should ring a bell. We don't know her date of birth, but she's approximately 75 years old. And my father had to go out to the countryside to work and lost contact with my mom at that time. But when he came back, he looked for her. He didn't mean to lose her, but he looked for her and could not find her.
What's your daddy's name again?
My daddy's name is Cho Chan-shik.
Okay. So, if everything worked out, your father was able to locate your mom, everybody's happy. Finally, you're sitting at a table with your mom for the very first time after 52 years and also 14 years of extensive search. Do you have anything to tell her or anything to share with her?
I want her to know that my life is good now. So if she's been worrying and wondering all these years, it's okay. She can put that to rest. I want her to meet her grandchildren, my daughter and my son, and they would love to meet their harmony. I want her to know that I don't have any negative feelings or ill will toward her at all, whether she abandoned me intentionally or gave me up for adoption, or if it was an accident and I wandered off or got lost. I don't harbor any bad feelings about that. I truly hope that she's healthy and happy. And I hope that if it's possible for her to come forward, she will do so we can meet at least one time. I would love to hold her face in my hand and look at the similarities between our faces and let her know that I love her and that I've missed her all this time and that everything is okay.
Okay, I'm sure it'll happen, and hopefully see. I mean, it doesn't have to be published, but I hopefully see a picture of you and your mom over there in Seoul. They'll be our pleasure with this project, which will go on. Well, there's a long story, but hopefully you will have more fun time in Korea, and it'll help us and also you to locate your mom there. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Sure. We'll see you again. Keep in touch.
Okay, take care.
에이미 벨서, 에이미 벨서, 김영희 씨의 이야기를 전해드렸습니다. 미국에서 먼 사촌을 DNA 검사로 찾고요. 그분이 DNA 검사를 안 했으면 또 어쩔 뻔했습니까? 라는 불안함도 잠깐 듭니다. 이 DNA 검사는 글쎄요, 저희 한국 분들은 많이들 참가해 주시면 좋겠다라는 캠페인도 좀 하면 어떨까라는 생각 잠깐 들었습니다. 또 DNA 검사를 하고 나서도 연락이 취해지고 또 다른 확인 검사를 하고 결국 한국 아버지까지 찾는데 14년의 시간이 걸렸습니다. 이제 영희 씨는 꼭 어머니를 찾겠다고 합니다. 또 한국을 방문하겠다고 하니까 뭐 저희 열심히 응원해 보고요. 동시에 어머니를 찾으면 김영희 씨는 감사하다는 말을 반드시 하고 싶고 또 어머니의 얼굴을 손으로 꼭 이렇게 만져보고 싶다고 이야기를 하네요. 발달된 과학기술로 친척의 일부를 찾고 보다 다양해지고 또 커지고 보다 광범위해진 이 미디어 노출 덕에 가족의 일부를 입양인들이 찾고는 있습니다만 아직도 많은 입양인들이 가족 찾기에 나서지 못하고 있는 것이 현실입니다. 물론 모든 입양인들이 김영희 씨처럼 적극적으로 나서기도 힘든 것이 또 사실이기도 하고요. 하지만 이들이 스스로를 도울 수 있는 힘은 역시 미국에 있는 이 한인사회, 한인분들이 이들에게 용기를 주고 한국의 기관과 단체들이 더욱 노력하는 것이 가장 필수적인 것이 아닌가 생각이 듭니다. 자, 이 영상을 다른 분들이 더 많이 볼 수 있도록 여러분들 퍼뜨려 주시는 거 잊지 마시고요. 보다 많은 분들이 입양인들에게 관심을 갖도록 저희도 앞으로 꾸준히 노력하겠습니다. 저희는 다음 영상에 또 만나겠습니다. 최인성이었습니다. 여러분 감사합니다.